Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Nook's Tavern, where we record live every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Eastern at twitch.tv/Nook's Tavern. You want to help support the show? Support us over at patreon.com/Nook's Tavern, and you can earn yourself a seat right here in the live studio that we record in. Hi, I'm Philip D. Keating, the imaginary nomad himself, and with me, for the first time ever, is the charcoal to my canvas, a swan named Emily.
Hi, Phil.
Hi, Emily. How are you doing?
I'm really well. How are you doing?
I am very well as well. Thank you. So Kurt is out today due to work. So he's like, we need to pull somebody in, and the first name on his list was Emily. So welcome to Nook's Tavern.
Thank you so much. I'm very excited to be here.
It's going to be a good episode. So, Emily, let me ask, what's going on new for this week on your island that you're excited about?
Well, that's the amazing thing, Phil. Everything is new on my island because I am still in the first week of having my island. But it's been wonderful. I've been enjoying this show since the beginning and the community around it and hearing people talk about their island and share their special things. And now being able to have that on my own is wonderful. So I've been meeting tons of new villagers and friends. And yeah, it's been great.
That's awesome. So, have you had any special NPCs show up that you haven't seen before this week, or have you added something new that was exciting to your museum or anything of the sort?
Yes to both. I've been very lucky, and it's been kind of funny because I feel like I got a lot of very special NPCs very quickly. I have seen both Gulliver and Gullivar, who washed up on my shores, which was wonderful. I've gone swimming with Pascal and given him lots of scallops. I had a lovely stargazing evening with Celeste, and I just saw Mabel recently. So,
my God, that's that's a lot for such a short time of being on your island.
And I just had Sahara show up again for the second time. So,
right. Well, I know where she has been hiding then. So for me, I mean, the only thing that really was awesome this week was going through the fireworks festival and actually, for once, seeing Red on my island and getting to use some of his raffles. I think I pulled every balloon, couple. What are they called? Sparklers.
Yep. Sparklers.
I got the balloon, the bubbles. I got the blow toy that has the three tongues that come out. Tweeter, thank you.
Yes.
But I still have yet to get any of the head boppers.
Yes.
Yeah.
Those are the ones, the elusive ones. I've been trying to get those as well.
So you haven't gotten any boppers yet?
No boppers yet. I got a tweeter. I got the Roman candle. I got the stationary candle. And then I got a bunch of balloons.
I feel like there's something else that I'm missing. Oh, the pinwheel.
Oh, yes, I got a pinwheel as well.
Yeah, the pinwheel's fun because you can actually interact with it, and when you hit the A button, it spins a little bit for you. So, have you lost a balloon yet this week by running with it and falling?
Not yet. I have not actually fallen yet, which is kind of nice. But no, I very carefully stuck all my balloons into my house right away because I'll admit I'm still a little bit in the hoarder stage, and I had sent a funny video to you as well as Kurt. Before my museum showed up, I had a fair amount of real estate around my house that was taken up with bugs and fish and shells that I had collected waiting for the museum. And I'm still very much in that with everything I collect. So it's all saved, it's all in storage or set up in my a little bit scary house of hoarders.
You'll be happy to know that the hoarding never really ends.
Oh, that's good.
You keep it in storage and then you forget about it, and then you check the price on Nookazon in 6 months and you realize, man, I should really do something with that, and then you end up not doing anything with it.
Well, good. Lots to look forward to.
Sure. So we don't have heavy news this week, but there are a couple articles floating out there that I wanted to bring to the attention of everybody. And some of them are boring and some of them are a little bit more fun than others. Let me switch over my cam on that. There we go. Scuba-doo. So, Nintendo has their first earnings report in a while, and their profits jump more than 400% thanks to the Switch and Animal Crossing. As we all know, the COVID times right now have kind of put a lot of businesses on hold, Except for Nintendo. Even though Switches are hard to find, they have still managed to drip feed some of them out there for everybody that are still looking for them. And then Animal Crossing hit probably at the best time, and it's the only game that people are talking about. So,
Absolutely. And I think the only other one they mentioned was Mario Party, and yeah, it's kind of the only game in town right now.
yeah, they made 145 billion yen, which translates to 1.3 billion in operating profits for the quarter ending in June, which makes it a 428% surge. Just imagine how much more it would have been if Switches weren't so difficult to find right now.
Absolutely.
But with these new updates and new people getting Switches and people coming to Animal Crossing for the first time, it's kind of a very easy game to jump into, and it's for a long time captured the hearts of many people stuck at home. The next article that I'm going to bring up is that the Animal Crossing patched out, or Nintendo patched out, the star fragment trees. This has been pretty much a staple for people with special islands for a little bit. It was more for like a cosmetic look. People would have just different things growing on trees other than fruit. They would have fossils or star fragments, or there was one more thing that people had up there that I just can't think of right now. Nope, I lost it. Okay. So people had just odd things growing on their trees, just to kind of give it more of a pizzazz around their island. But as soon as dream addresses came in and people started visiting different people's islands, they would see that these islands had these quote unquote hack trees, or these I guess hack trees is the best way to describe
Actually,
them.
yeah, I think that's a perfect way to describe it.
And these players,
Not factory original.
yes, it's not factory owned, factory original. But these people were reporting this to Nintendo as hacking and cheating, and some of these people have experienced temporary revokedness of their online connectivity. So that's huge. I mean, it's very strange because, if you're using these trees and these star fragments and these fossils and other things that you can put in your trees that really don't really affect other people's gameplay, but people are still getting reported out there, and they're losing their time to connect to people, and they're just you put your address out there not thinking anything was going to happen, and then bam, you're hit with a ban, a temporary ban, but still a ban nonetheless.
Well, especially too, I feel like at this point, myself aside from that a lot of people might even be experiencing their fatigue. So then to have an additional hurdle to that, I feel like kind of hurts that part of it. And I'm just surprised because there aren't microtransactions in this game. It's not as if these people are damaging that or causing people to be out real money and not just bells. So I'm surprised at the policing that some of the people are doing on other gamers.
I wonder if it is coming down heavy from Nintendo to just cut them right out because of the secondary market, like Nooooookkkkssss. If you can gain the system by having these hack trees with star fragments, and then going around and selling either star fragments or, let's say, rare furniture from Celeste on Nooooookkkkssss to then get bells or tickets or whatever you get. I mean, that's the only other reason I can think, because once again, it's not really affecting anybody but your own island.
Right.
And a lot of these people weren't even harvesting them. They just wanted these pretty things in their trees and have different trees. So if you had the opportunity before this patch came through, I mean, would you have gotten the urge to do this, to have weird trees that weren't just full of fruit?
Probably not. I mean, again, I've heard you guys talk for weeks about time travel and that type of stuff, and that never interested me. But I will also admit that I approach this as a very casual. As much as I'm incredibly excited and having a blast and playing for hours, it's still a very casual game for me, and that that seems like a lot of work. And I'm really okay just logging in each week and being in my normal time zone and time day, which I don't know what day it is normally. So I'm doing a little bit of time traveling just because I'm not sure until the little clock tells me.
It's very funny. But according to those that have been impacted by this, these former star trees are now just regular money trees. While the move seems surprisingly aggressive from Nintendo, who has allowed similar hacks with previous games like New Leaf, it should stop people from fighting over, or it should stop people from fighting over reported islands. I don't know. It just kind of, it kind of seems. I mean, if I go to an island and I see that you have a specialty tree like that, I mean, my last thought would be like, you're right. It's my duty to report this person and take them down.
Right, right.
Especially because you, as somebody visiting through a dream address, like you can't interact with anything on their island. So it kind of seems like just.
I'm mad at you for having a cooler visual than me.
I guess so.
I guess
It just seems like a bullying move, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But people play this game differently, and I guess if you're grumpy about people having things that you don't, it's easier to report than just move on for some people, I guess.
I guess. And again, it's hand in hand with, while people have a lot more time at home to play, they also have a lot more time at home to sit and stew about things that upset them.
That's very true. And the last piece of news that I want to bring that I found today, which is kind of Animal Crossing, kind of not, is about Tetris 99. Emily, have you played any Tetris 99?
I have not. I downloaded it and I've watched you play it on stream, and that's as close as I've gotten.
All right. Well, if you get the urge to play Tetris 99 again, they are revisiting some of the previous Tetris Maximus Cup themes that they were giving away. So they're redoing the Ring Fit Adventure, the Luigi Mansion 3, and there it is, the Animal Crossing New Horizon theme.
Which, I mean, it's pretty cute.
I mean,
it really is.
It most certainly is. And to be honest with you, it's my favorite one to play with, because the one thing that you want to do during Tetris 99 is you want to kind of keep calm and keep focus. And normally, the higher you get in the ranks, the more fast the music gets, and also the tetraminos fall a lot quicker. So if you can have calming music playing from Animal Crossing as you're playing this game, I find it, to be honest with you, a little bit of advantage from other people that aren't using it.
That's great.
So traditionally, you need 100 points to unlock these themes, but since they're doing triple rounds with Animal Crossing first, Luigi Mansion 3 second, and then Ring Fit Adventure third, it's only going to cost you 50 points to move on to the next level.
Oh, nice.
So with Animal Crossing being first, I mean, really, you can just go in there, get 50 points, and then get the heck out, and you don't ever have to deal with it again. But that's going to start on August 14th at 12 a.m. Pacific time and go until August 22nd. So,
Okay.
A couple days in there, it should be enough time to hop in there and get your skins if you haven't. So, like I said, the news was kind of slim on the front end, and I think we're actually going to go right into our break. If you're here watching the live show, stick around. You on the podcast, enjoy the ad, and we'll see you in a few. Oh, man, I ran through those articles very quickly.
No, but you're right, though. I mean, they were light.
Yeah, it's all right.
I think the community spotlight has some really neat stuff.
Oh, it most certainly does. All right. Let's see. You cannot interact. You cannot take anything back, though. Oh, you can interact. You just can't take anything back with you. I got it. Thanks, Kilted.
If you shake trees, you can't take the fruit or whatever home with you.
Yeah, I guess you can interact with it. You just cannot take it with you. I
Okay.
just like Tetris 99 at the best of times. Too stressful for me. Guess I need to download it again. Yeah, I mean, getting 50 points, even if you're not that great, shouldn't take you more than an hour. Oh, man. All right, I'm excited about some of these things on this community spotlight.
There's some really, really cool stuff.
All right, you ready to head back into this?
Yep.
Okay. And welcome back to Nook's Tavern. So, before we go any further, we're going to look a little bit into Noookazon and see what is trending for this week. And just letting you guys know, if you use it, these are the hot listings right now. So, the red police box, your shell wand, cherry blossom pond stones, and rusted parts. So, those rusted parts are still going for pretty high since you need them for the robot. And, depending on what kind of island you have, depicts what color phone box you have. So apparently the red ones are trending hard right now. Em, do you think that you would ever use to acquire or sell anything on Noookazon?
Maybe to sell, but I feel like with that too, it's very far down the line for me.
Sure.
Again, as I mentioned earlier, my hoarder tendencies, but also it's a lot of research and figuring out what there's demand for and even just the possibilities of it. And I don't know if I'm that invested in that part of it.
What if I could tell you, you could not hunt for the villager of your dream. You can simply just purchase them off this website.
Well, I think I would be a little bit disappointed in my animal magnetism than if I can't just go out and find the villager that I'd like to have.
I mean, that's fair, but also I spent like 25,000 Nook tickets once trying to find somebody.
I will say too, it's been neat because I started in Pocket Camp. I collected a lot of villagers that way because it has a very different dynamic to it. The way that you play that game is vastly different from the actual Animal Crossing. So I got to kind of have a lot of villagers and be familiar with them that way. And that kind of satisfied my need for it. So now I'm just, again, the new car smell is still on my Switch. I'm still delighted every day when I log into Animal Crossing. So maybe at some point I'll be desperate to have Lolly. I really like her. She's one of the cat characters, and I really like her.
Okay.
So maybe if I can't find her, I'll tiptoe to Noookazon and see what I can find.
You could also just use the wonderful community over at tiny.cc/Nook's Tavern to see if anybody ever has her in boxes, and you could just scoop up and pick her up.
They are wonderful. I would like to give an absolute amazing shout out to the entire community, specifically Bmel, Kilted, and Dell. You guys are awesome. I was a few days in and I already had incredible support and hey, what can we do? What do you need? And they came and visited my island and hung out with me, and it was awesome. So it really is, it's a tremendous community, and I'm very, very happy to be a part of it.
Awesome. So let's get into some of these insane things that I have found on Reddit. So with these dream addresses coming into play, a lot of people have put their dream addresses up on Reddit for people to visit. But this most insane one that I found was somebody used hedges and made a maze out of their island.
And not a simple maze.
No!
This isn't the maze from a month ago that was part of an event. This is hardcore.
No, this is Jareth has stolen your little brother, and it's full of goblins and trickery, kind of labyrinth. Now look, guys, I'll give you the DA address right now, which is 4052 7760 9555, and I'll put that in the show notes as well. But with that stands, like, the best time people have gotten on this is 4 to 5 minutes, but the average time has been 9 to 10. And if you look at the picture that I'm putting up on the screen or even in the show notes with the link, it's intimidating. It's super intimidating, but I'm very excited to do this.
Yeah, no, I think that's awesome. And now after having spent some time doing some landscaping, my brain hurts for the amount of planning and preparation that it took to make this happen.
Yeah, especially, I guess you had to start working on this before dream addresses came in, right? You don't have somebody who's like, now that people can freely visit my island, I better start working on this. Let me get to it in a week and make something absolutely insane.
I don't know, though. Unless they knew that the dream thing was coming, maybe this was just some gag between them and their friends to have it make it harder and harder for them to get to parts of their island. But
oh, you know what I would have done? I would have put in the shop at the end.
Yeah.
And had people go all the way through to sell their nips. But man, it looks great. I'm a big fan of corn mazes, so I'm gonna find this very excited, and I'll probably run it, later on in this week, and let you guys know what my average time was.
I am kind of hoping though that they put like one of the big goblet or chalices at the end of it, and a little Triwizard Cup happening.
Okay, I dig that. You know what? I think as a community, maybe we should all try to go through this the quickest, and then everyone post their times in the Discord, and let's see if we can get a little bit of a competition going on.
Yes, I love it.
So the next thing that I found on the internets was somebody has posted probably the most exquisite library I've ever seen produced in Animal Crossing. From books, they have not only the shelved books, but they have the wedding flowers hanging down from the glass walls. The flooring in there,
It's gorgeous.
it fits so perfectly, like it's right out of Indiana Jones'
I was
Last
just
Crusade.
gonna say that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the
Exactly.
pipe organ and the desk, it's so stunning. And pieces like this, I love them so much. Kind of like when we had that antique shop a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Just people put so much time and details, and I'm sure, like, even looking at these pictures now, we're not fully experiencing, the little things that these people have put in here.
And I'm impressed too because I'm assuming that all of these pieces didn't automatically come in the colors that they have set in the images. Like that's customization and that's planning to get the actual color scheme to match top to bottom. That's the attention to detail that blows me away.
Sure. So we'll put that in the show notes as you guys can watch it and revel in the amazingness of that library. This next piece was sent to us. Hold on, gotta close all those. Whoops. We'll skip over that for now. So sorry about that. So the next thing I brought to the table tonight was SpongeBob. Have you ever watched SpongeBob?
I have.
Okay.
I enjoy SpongeBob.
Do you remember the episode of SpongeBob where Squidward had to put a band together for a competition?
I think so.
Well, if you don't remember it, you can now watch the entire episode in Animal Crossing, as somebody has done a shot-for-shot remake of this famous episode. So a lot of people use the meme of SpongeBob and the band for sporting events or other things like that, and it's one of my favorite episodes of that, and they really did a good job nailing this down perfectly.
Again, it comes back to the attention to detail across the board. It blows me away each week with what people are choosing to do. It's just awesome.
Yeah, especially with people constantly taking television shows and remaking them in Animal Crossing.
And I'm usually impressed because character personalities match up with the villagers that they choose in the game, and that's just an extra bonus.
It really is. If I can get this working, there we go.
Birds like dudes are stupid.
So, as you can guess from the audio on the stream, somebody out there made a shot-for-shot remake of the Simpsons theme. Actually, not just the theme, the entire intro to the show. Emily, did you get to watch this at all?
I did.
So what they did was they used a little bit of CGI work, a little bit of cartooning to kind of fill out some of the pieces that you can't really do in Animal Crossing. Like
Yeah, they definitely had some layered After Effects stuff happening.
Yeah,
but
like driving in cars and skateboarding and all that. But I mean, on the whole, it's a pretty decent remake of the intro to The Simpsons.
yes, and it's the couch gag is the best. Even if you didn't stick around to watch the rest of that episode of Simpsons, the couch gags are worth it.
And that's my favorite part, right? Like they did this shot for shot, with even Homer and Marge driving home, but they included their own couch gag, which I found really endearing.
Yes. No, when they did that cutaway, and I won't spoil the end of it, but it was perfect. I was okay again with the little bits of tweaking that they did up until I was like, oh, that's funny, and then the reveal happens. I was like, that's great. Nope, you won me on that last bit.
Most certainly. I wish I had just not only time, but like the creative guster to do this.
Yeah, it's amazing. And I've always thought that with when it came to the Simpsons themselves. I mean, you're coming up with different couch gags for every episode. It's a very deep well and it's intimidating at times.
Almost certainly. And as Kurt always loves to do, we're going to end the community spotlight on a cover song. Now, this one's a little bit special that I found out on the internet because this is a cover of KK Cruising, but it's just not done by one person. It is done by 48 different musicians. A lot of them are known, video game musicians already, but the fact that somebody was able to go out there and get all 48 people to do a different part of KK Cruising was awesome. And not only that, but they extended the song by, 18 minutes. So it's pretty intense, and you have all different kinds of music stylizations going in here, from people playing the guitars to clarinets. There's somebody playing the accordion as somebody sings on top of it.
Yeah, piano. It's beautiful.
And different music stylizations, from metal to jazz to polka. It's all over the place, but it all kind of really fits together.
Yes.
And that was put together by String Player Gamer. So if you haven't checked them out on YouTube, throw them a sub. And it seems like they'll just continuously put out cool covers like this for any game, really. But this one fits perfectly for our show. Did you get any time to watch any part of this 18-minute jam sesh?
about 2 minutes, but I will definitely be watching it again and all the way through. I'm impressed because we've come across a lot of different musical covers and renditions of this, and I don't get sick of them. I don't get sick of this lovely music that comes from this game, and what people choose to do with it and how they choose to recreate it, or if they continue to use the language of Animal Crossing, or if they just make it instrumental. It's enjoyable, and it's delightful background music, especially when I'm working on Animal Crossing art.
Oh, most certainly. I find myself constantly humming some of these tunes, or even meowing them, as I go through my day. And the child, that's all he wants to listen to when we get into the car for Spotify is, if it's not put on Mario music, it's put on Animal Crossing music. So the more the better, in my opinion.
Absolutely. And again, it's coming back to the name of this section, the Community Spotlight. It is beautiful to see community members collaborating and working on these projects.
Yeah, I mean, really, this is the most community-centric thing that we've ever bought, with 48 different people all coming together on one piece. Oh, man, I can listen to this all day. So check that out. The link will be in the show notes. And let's keep the show running as we... I guess we can't do it behind the bells.
No, not really.
All right, you know what? We're going to do it anyway. Ladies and gentlemen, sit with us as we go through our favorite segment. Behind the Bells. The Nook Syndicate story. All right, well, we don't really have a bagman because I don't have his phone number, and Kurt's normally the one that texts him. So, Emily, what we'll do instead is we'll have everybody get a little bit more familiar with you and your history with Animal Crossing.
All right.
So, I know from listening to 143 Pixels by our good friend Bill at Run Jump Stomp that you're...
Thank you, Bill.
You're mostly a PlayStation player.
Yes.
Have you had any experience with Animal Crossing, or is New Horizons really your first big jump into Animal Crossing?
New Horizons is absolutely my first big jump into it. Like I said, I've been playing Pocket Camp on my phone for a few months, but previous to that, nothing. I was aware of it, but because I never had a GameCube and didn't have access to that, I never really sought it out previous till now.
So what was it about let's say Pocket Camp, right? What was it about Pocket Camp that really brought you into that game and making you want to spend time every day going through and running your quests on Pocket Camp?
Well, I mean, part of it, if I'm being completely honest and completely cheesy, is I enjoyed this show a lot, and that was the easiest way that I could be a part of it. And it was a free option, which was really nice. But it also absolutely plays into the collector spirit in me. And as I said, on 143 pixels, I like fighting games, and I usually had a very specific time limit on how long I could play games. So long running RPGs were tough for me, but collecting or short missions or logging in and daily and doing some sort of quest that way, that fits into a lot of what I could handle as a younger person, and now what I have time for as an adult. And it just syncs up perfectly. And then as they would release new goals that you could get to, I was like, oh, well, this is delightful. I can get another goal. And then Isabel would come back and talk to me that there was another goal. And, 3 months went by and I got a lot of goals.
So then, if you're coming from Pocket Camp right into New Horizon, did you find that jump difficult to make, since they are they are in the same IP, but they play differently?
They play incredibly differently. Yes, especially because at the point I'm at in Pocket Camp, I have enough bells. I have enough to do anything I want. I have supplies, I have building materials, I have everything I want, and I can just do whatever I want whenever I want. So to come to New Horizons and start completely fresh, and even more specific to that, to have to wait as my museum was built. As you have to wait a day. And if you've been waiting 5 months for all of these experiences, then having to wait a day as you've been anticipating it feels like a long time. And that's been the biggest thing. Is I am so eager to do so much stuff, and I have to remember that there is plenty of time that I will get to these things. But
Sure.
that was a big switch.
Is this your first crafting game?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
was that strange to have to come in and like gather materials to then actually build things to actually then push your storyline forward, or did you think that came pretty quick for you?
I think I got into that pretty quickly. I mean, concept wise, it makes sense. And, with other games, even shorter RPGs where I've gone around and had to collect things or had to level up, I kind of equate it to going out into the wilderness and just fighting generic monsters until you got your skill level up. So while it's not the same skill set, it's a similar mindset that, nope, I just have to get through these things so that I can do the next thing.
Yeah. So it's been out for 5 months, right? And you just came into it how long ago? About 2 weeks?
A week and a half?
Okay, so let's just say about 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Did you have any feeling of missing that 5 months, or were you really like, hey, I got it now, can't dwell on the past, let's just look to the future and have fun, and then next year I'll be able to pick up all the things that I missed?
Well, I mean, it's a weird thing because I was kind of aware of the special events that were going on and maybe missing those things, but I was collecting them in Pocket Camp, so I was doing that part of it. But I think because I was watching this show and enjoying different parts of the community, and I follow a ton of different artists on Twitter and Instagram, so I'm seeing all of this amazing art be created, and that's really fun, and I enjoyed a lot of that. So I definitely didn't have the fear of missing out of that part of it. But then, getting into it, I think I was just so overjoyed with the fun of what I was getting to do. And finally it gets, it's an immediate island creation that is all my own.
Sure.
And that's wonderful. And as you say, it's exactly, I can play it any way I want. There's no right or wrong way to do this. And I got to run around and jump on things and climb on things and do it exactly as I wanted. So I think the joy of that definitely overshadowed any of disappointment about missing out. And it's kind of been funny because I'm coming into it so fresh and so new. I'm babbling away at other people who again have been at this for 5 months, and I think that's kind of fun. But I'm enjoying them kind of getting excited about it as well. And I'm bringing them over to my island to show them tents, but they're my tents and they're new tents, and that's exciting and it's fun.
Yeah, no, it is. It's a lot of fun. I'm sure that you're not anywhere close to terraforming yet.
No, I don't
But
think so.
let me ask you, is terraforming something that you're looking forward to? Or is terraforming something that fills you with terrible anxiety?
Is it something that I might have already taken out grid paper and started to plan out what I was doing?
Oh my lord, are you serious? I know you are.
I have a sketch. I do.
Oh my lord.
Yep.
So
and
so are you looking forward to it, or is it something that you're probably going to dabble with a few times and then just say the heck with it?
so so this is kind of a funny thing, and I will absolutely own up to it, and it's laughable. And if you're ever on my island and you're watching me, not so much catch bugs because I'm getting better at that, but boy, I cannot dig the hole with my shovel where I want it to go. So if you're ever watching me dig holes, it's ridiculous. And so I'm curious if difficulties with terraforming are going to I'm going to struggle with them the same way that I'm struggling with digging holes. Yeah.
It's
Don't
worse.
tell me. I don't want to know.
Okay.
So there is part of it where we'll say I have two different versions. So I have a couple of ideas of things that I really, really want to make happen. And those are just as simple as moving some paths out so that I can hop across a part of my river instead of having to pole vault. Little things like that. But there's a couple where I want to see if I can change the flow of where my waterfalls spill out or how I can kind of affect those areas. And I'll admit to, there was a good, we're going to say maybe 4 hours the other day where I spent all of that time just moving trees. I ate a ton of fruit and I moved all of my cedar trees, and I was delighted. So yeah. So I think I'm looking forward to the terraforming, but I'm also trying to keep in mind that it is going to be challenging in a certain way and to keep realistic expectations.
I didn't, but I get that because, while you moving trees for 4 hours, you said it was satisfying. I can go and pick weeds for hours and not even care. Like, I have deweeded a lot of my friends' islands. I came over and deweeded a little bit of your island.
You did,
yes.
yes.
I find a zen at cleaning an island out that, and I've hit my weed master. I've picked so much weed that I think the end goal on that's 3,000, and I'm at 3,500 because
oh my gosh.
I enjoy it. I don't know why. It's tedious. It doesn't add anything, but yeah, cleaning an island is one of my favorite things to do.
That's too funny.
So do you find yourself more of a bug catcher or a fisher or a little bit balanced? How do you normally spend your time when you're trying to, run around your island not digging up trees?
not digging up or just making holes. So I enjoy both of those. I'm going to fully commit in. I love swimming.
Oh, interesting.
I love it so much. I think there was one day where I did possibly 2 laps around my entire island, just swimming and diving for sea creatures. And I love it. And I know it's weird because it is a newer mechanic, but no, that's my zen right there. Jumping off of the rock or the end of my pier and just swimming out there. That's beautiful.
Interesting. Yeah, it's funny because I completely forgot that swimming was a thing when I asked that question. So
I even wore my wetsuit tonight.
That's true. I see that.
No, it's really great, and I like catching bugs, and it's again, if I was streaming this live or if you got to watch me play this, people would laugh because, and a kind of a long-winded answer on this, but I like that there is a little bit of hand-holding when it comes to how you play Animal Crossing, but there's some stuff where they just essentially they hand you the net and they let you out into the world. And until I accidentally held down one of the buttons, I didn't know that I could creep. So I was just really slow joystick walking towards bugs to try and catch them until I learned about that. And I was like, oh, well, this is much easier. I see why people do this instead. But it's been fun. That's fun as an adult figuring that out, but it's not a super hard level that just beats me to the ground. It's just I could catch bugs before and now I can just catch bugs better.
Sure. And your enthusiasm for this game has really, it's been great because, we've been here for 5 months and, we're always just like, well, no, I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to do this. and to watch you just new come to the game, be like, yeah, everything is new, everything is great. I don't care because I'm having fun and I'm still, I can jump and swim in the ocean for 2 hours and not have a care in the world. But with that said, do you have some changes on your list that you hope to see come to Animal Crossing in the near future? A lot of us have talked about multi-item crafting or being able to open and close gates from not, anywhere more than just the airport. Is there anything really that sticks out in your mind that, you would want to see come to the game in the near future?
I will say it's something that Kurt had said, I couldn't tell you, a couple episodes ago, I think, and he mentioned how especially if you're doing a lot of fishing, a lot of bug catching, or a lot of swimming, the repeat dialogue for catching, I mean, everything you catch, you hold it to camera and it says it. Like, I would be okay not having that dialogue bubble every time. I don't think that's something they're going to change. But I was like, nope, that can be. Sometimes if I just, again, because I'm playing, I'm getting up a little bit early and playing before I go to work or before I fall asleep at night. And if I'm trying to get through a few things, that makes it feel a little bit longer. But
well, that dialogue is at least a C plus.
Oh, the bad puns though, they can stay all day. I am here for the bad puns. They're speaking my language.
Well, that's awesome. So are you aware that, like, in old games, there used to be Nintendo items in the game?
Not specifically. I know, like I said, in Pocket Camp, I got a Nintendo shirt, and I know a Switch popped up in my Nook shopping a couple days ago.
Okay. Yeah, because like in old games, you used to be able to get like Star Fox's ship or like an official Mario or Luigi hat. They even for the GameCube, you had NES games in there. Now they can't do that now because of the online service, and that's really where they're pushing people. But that's the one thing I'm still waiting for is these old Nintendo IP furniture bits to finally come into the game.
Especially furniture. I'd say furniture or rugs or wallpaper or that type of stuff. I got my first exposure to possibly using the amiibos because I had Harvey come to my island and I could go to his island and see that part of it. So that was an interesting little bit. But yeah, I'd love to see, and not just online communities creating that, but actual, I'd love like a Kirby table.
Oh,
really...
don't know. Yes. Yes. 100% yes.
Yeah.
I need like a Kirby table. It's just like an end table that you could put next to your bed.
Yeah.
Oh,
There's just this little face. Like and like the big open mouth is like a cup holder. I might need that in my real life.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
Yeah, you should. We all know that you're an artist and a famous, make that happen.
Okay.
Well, I mean, let's just real quick before we end this short interview, your overall feelings on how your experience with Animal Crossing for the first time is going.
I'd like to refer it to the joy emotion that I can easily click on my Switch. And no, it's absolutely joy. It's a lot of fun. It is a wonderful escape from the real world sometimes, but it's fun community. And people even outside of this particular group, friends of mine and unexpected friends, these are people who are not big gamers, are on Animal Crossing and post on Facebook about it, and now getting the chance to share that with them is really neat. And no, I certainly don't except when I'm playing Animal Crossing instead of doing artwork, I don't feel bad about the time that I'm spending on it. I count that as some nice relaxation and zen.
No, that's well said. Well, I just want to say thank you, Emily, for being able to fill in pretty last minute on the show.
Yeah, this is awesome. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Do you have anything else that you want to add before we wrap things up?
No, but just another thank you out to everybody. And I've been bad about the Discord, but I'm trying to get better. And I'll definitely, if anybody is interested in coming in and seeing my baby island, I'm always happy to throw in dodo codes to that and have people stop by. And I again, not that I have much to share, but if anybody's ever looking for anything that I have, I offer that too.
Awesome. All right, well, let's do these outros. You can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, and Twitch at Nook's Tavern. This episode of Nook's Tavern was brought to you by our Patreon producers, B-Mel. If you want to support the show and be live in studio, you can head on over to patreon.com/Nook's Tavern and support us over there. If you have a moment, please head on over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review. Thank you to Emily Swan, not only for being our guest co-host tonight, but also for the wonderful album art and the art she supplies every week for our show. Support her over at patreon.com/a-swan-named-Emily. You have a story about your island? You want to share it with us? Hit us up over at nookstavern@gmail.com and join the wonderful community over on our Discord at tiny.cc/nookstavern, all lowercase. Emily, where can people find and support you?
Find and support me. I am on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, streamer links, and Twitch, all at a swan named Emily. Pretty much if you search that, you will find me. You guys are always welcome to send me messages, or if you have questions about art, I stream on Twitch inconsistently. I'm trying to get better about that. I will say my schedule's been a little wonky, but I like to do art tutorials, and if not, sometimes just pop in and do my own art while you guys chat with me, which is awesome. I like having the community there. But yeah, a swan named Emily across the internet, and I have 2 episodes of podcast coming out soon, so I'm going to be guesting on a podcast called FTO coming up, so that should release soon. And then I have been invited to be on Crash Test Pilots with friends of the show, Paul and Nicole, so hopefully that will be coming out soon as well.
Awesome. You could probably check out her Twitter when those episodes drop. She'll probably share those.
I will.
I haven't... Man, I forgot that this came in, and since Kurt wasn't here, he forgot to remind me. But we did put a bounty out on people wearing the Bagman Brigade t-shirts. We had a few come in. One of them was our friend of the show through Facebook. Tim shared a picture of him and KK sporting his Bagman Brigade shirt. That's up there on stream right now. And also the second one to come in was Captain himself as he stares at 2 fireworks in the sky of Tom Nook. So pretty frightening indeed. I forgot what Kurt had on bounty on that, but we'll ask next week. And if you still have time to take the pictures and send them over, because Kurt's not here, so we'll deal with that next week, ladies and gentlemen. You can follow me over at Imaginary Nomad on all social medias, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram with a 1, Botched D&D Podcast, Breaking the Panel, here on Nooks, and more projects to be announced in a later future. Anything else, Emily?
Oh, awesome. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for having me.
All right, we'll shake them trees.
And make art with ease.
Oh, very nice. We'll see you next week, nerds. Well done.
That was fun.
Yeah. Make sure you stop your recording.
Yep, and save. Save.
All right, pause that. Ah. Again, I really appreciate you coming in and filling in tonight, Emily.
No, absolutely. I'm so glad it worked out. Yeah, it's funny. He was like, texting me on the way home. I was like, oh, yeah, I'll be around. You're like, no, but really, are you going to be around?
No, but really, I need somebody. And look at you, Kilted. Kilted's wearing his Bagman right now. Let me take a picture, and we'll add that to the list. Good day for hockey, Phil. Yes, indeed. The Flyers 2-0 in the playoffs. Oh, Baloney's in his Bagman Brigade.
Oh, the outfits, you guys, they're incredible. I love it.
All right. So we'll stay on
God,
stream
look
for
at
a little
it all.
bit. I'm claiming that as my entry. That's fair. I think B-Mel fell asleep. Hey! Alright. So the stores are open, everyone. If you want to go grab something from the store, feel free to do that. Emily, I know that you have another show to do in
I do.
30 minutes, you said. So
Yeah.
don't feel obligated to stick around here if you have prep work or have to eat dinner or anything like that.
No, I stuffed my face on the way home because I was hustling to get ready for this. And...
Do you know if that's video on Twitch or anything like that, or if he's just doing that podcast?
I know it's on Zoom, and I'm assuming it's just podcast. We will see each other, but it's just the recording.
Sure.
So yeah, no, it's weird because it's the first time I'll be interviewing with someone that I don't know either personally. I mean, when I talked to Bill, obviously I'd met him at Dragon Con, but I really don't know this person. So it's gonna be interesting. But I've been listening to episodes of his show in prep, so hopefully I'll get that and it'll go well.
Good.
Yeah, no. I really do think Brad fell asleep. B-Mel fell asleep.
That's fine. I'll have my ushers push him out later. And you said you do crash test on Friday?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow is Friday. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Oh, my Lord.
Right? I'm telling you, time doesn't exist. I'm traveling every day.
That should be fun. I had a lot of fun while I was on there.
Well, I'm excited too. The show that I'm going to talk about is one I love, so that makes it easy.
Yeah, it was a fun show to record.
Yeah, it's a neat concept. I like it.
Emily, this is a football jersey. That's a Bears jersey. That's not a Flyers jersey.
No, I didn't say it was a Flyers jersey. I just said they had a stupid black, orange, and white jersey.
I'm sorry that it's got a professional hockey team jersey in here, and you still root for the Miners, but that's fine. Did you guys win last night?
I don't want to talk about it.
No, okay. That's fair. Did you talk to Label in my plaza?
No, I didn't.
You'll get a free piece of
She's in your plaza?
Yeah, unless that was yesterday.
I thought she was in
No,
the shop
no.
making stuff.
No. Label is right here in the plaza. If you talk to her, she will give you a free piece of free shirt or free outfit.
Ooh.
And apparently Pietro is crafting a gold wall in his house right now. So anybody still listening on stream, you can pick that up there.
You know, the more I see of him, the more I understand why you like him so much.
Is Label for residents only? I don't know. Label won't
there.
speak to guests. All right, so she's just like every other NPC.
Okay.
Can't interact with her.
That's okay.
Which I find annoying and silly, but that's fine.
Yeah, well, I will say I was worried the day when my resident services was being built and I couldn't log into the Nook thing, and I tried to log in on another person's island. It wouldn't let me do that either. But luckily, they said because you couldn't log in, we're comping
They
you
didn't.
the day.
Okay, well that's good
Yeah.
that they didn't penalize you for
Yeah.
that. I couldn't remember when you asked me, so I didn't want to give you an answer, either way in case I was wrong.
Well, and I think again, that's the funny thing is I realized that these things that I'm experiencing and going through again were almost 6 months ago. For people, they're like, I don't remember those first 2 days of Animal Crossing.
Yeah, it's very much true. Though I did learn that if Red is on your island, right, and you pull up your map, his trawler will show up at your top beach.
Oh,
So, like,
okay.
you don't even have to run all the way up there to check. You can just check your map.
Oh, interesting.
And like the store does on your map, Red will show up at the top there.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, he was there the one day, and I was playing right before bed, and I definitely fell asleep, and my game went to sleep while I was on his boat, which is a weird. That's not the place that you want to fall asleep.
Oh God, no! Now he'll ship. He'll either sell you, or he'll ship you right off to Harv's Island, and I'll tell you that's not. Neither option is good.
No. I will say Harv and I approach art differently, so it's a different perspective.
I'm not getting into that. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to shut the stream down because I have to get to a surprise birthday party. Thanks everyone for coming out, and we'll check you out next time. Thanks everyone.